to a halt. He was describing, as all young poets are forever describing, nature. And in order to match the shade of green precisely, he looked, and here he showed more audacity than most, at the thing itself, which happened to be a laurel bush growing beneath the window. After that, of course, he could write no more. Green in nature is one thing, green in literature another. Nature and letters seem to have a natural antipathy. Bring them together and they tear each other to pieces. The shade of green Orlando now saw spoilt his rhyme and split his metre. Moreover, nature has tricks of her own. Once look out of a window at bees among flowers, at a yawning dog, at the sun setting. Once think, how many more suns shall I see set? And one drops the pen, takes one's cloak, strides out of the room, and catches one's foot on a painted chest as one does so, for Orlando was a trifle clumsy. He let himself out at a little gate in the garden wall. He skirted all stables, kennels, breweries, carpenters' shops, wash-houses, places where they make tallow candles, kill oxen, forge horseshoes, stitch jerkins. For the house was a town ringing with men at work at their various crafts, and gained the ferny path leading uphill through the park unseen. So, after a long silence, "I am alone," he breathed at last, opening his lips for the first time in this record. He had walked very quickly uphill through ferns and hawthorn bushes, startling deer and wild birds, to a place crowned by a single oak tree. He sighed profoundly and flung himself, there was a passion in his movements which deserves the word, on the earth at the foot of the oak tree. He loved, beneath all this summer transiency, to feel the earth's spine beneath him, for such he took the hard root of the oak tree to be. Or, for image followed image, it was the back of a great horse that he was riding, or the deck of a tumbling ship. It was anything indeed, so long as it was hard, for he felt the need of something which he could attach his floating heart to, the heart that tugged at his side, the heart that seemed filled with spiced and amorous gales every evening about this time when he walked out. After an hour or so, a trumpet sounded. Orlando leapt to his feet. The shrill sound came from the valley. It came from a dark spot down there, a spot compact and mapped out. A maze, a town, yet girt about with walls. It came from the heart of his own great house in the valley. The Queen had come. Orlando looked no more. He dashed downhill. He let himself in at a wicket gate. He tore up the winding staircase. He reached his room. He tossed his stockings to one side of the room, his jerkin to the other. He dipped his head. He scoured his hands. He pared his fingernails. With no more than 6 inches of looking-glass and a pair of old candles to help him, he had thrust on crimson breeches, lace collar, waistcoat of taffeta, and shoes with rosettes on them as big as double dahlias in less than 10 minutes by the stable clock. He was ready. He was flushed. He was excited, but he was terribly late. He reached the banqueting hall only just in time to sink upon his knees and, hanging his head in confusion, to offer a bowl of rose-water to the great Queen herself. Such was his shyness that he saw no more of her than her ringed hand in water, but it was enough. It was a memorable hand, a thin hand with long fingers always curling as if round orb or sceptre. A nervous, crabbed, sickly hand. A commanding hand, too, a hand that had only to raise itself for a head to fall. By the same showing, the Queen herself can have seen only a head. The long, curled hair, the dark head bent so reverently, so innocently before her, implied a pair of the finest legs that a young nobleman has ever stood upright upon, and violet eyes, and a heart of gold, and loyalty, and manly charm, all qualities which the old woman loved the more they failed her. And it was that same night...